The Saiyans are finally here, and we're talking about that.
Ned, no, I can't believe we finally made it. Let's get the introductions out of the way. I'm DotoDoya. That's my co-host for Key Moments, Nanogenix, and we've been waiting for this episode for a long time, folks. Because Nano, why?
Dude, they're here. The Saiyans are here.
The Saiyans are here, and we got some dark days ahead of us. But let's start things off. Again, if you're not familiar with the Key Moments podcast, we do anime, we do all sorts of things, but we also do a Dragon Ball Z rewatch, a big part of the channel, big part of what we do. And to say that this has been a long time in the making, I would be doing an understatement, a disservice. Man, with the filler we've watched, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, you would think, and I've seen so many comments about this, you would think that we would have watched more episodes per pod just to get to this faster. But then it made the payoff here feel so much better. And like, to put this into perspective for everybody, we've been filming this podcast now since last March. So it's almost been a year of waiting for the Saiyans to get here.
Which that is, well, again, we did have to take some time off, so we did slow down a little bit.
Yeah, we weren't recording like weekly, you know. This is only 20 episodes in, but it's like
the payoff to us. I genuinely feel like a little kid watching Dragon Ball Z. Like I know you said it released daily, but we're like on a weekly pace.
I said that. I'm not questioning that. I can't remember. Somebody needs to correct me like immediately in the comments right now. Back in the day when it was airing on Toonami, did we not get an episode of Z like every week? I mean, what I remember it is every single day after school, I'd watch an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Unless, of course, I was busy with after school activities. And eventually it would start rerunning, right? Because you'd see a lot of the same episodes because it would have to start rerunning because they would catch up. But I feel like there were stints where we were getting new episodes every day. But maybe I'm wrong on thinking that.
I'd say you're probably right. I mean, I wouldn't doubt your lived-in experience, but at the pace we were watching them, man, the filler hit different, man. Some of these filler episodes, we were going through it.
We were, but then I was looking through, if you guys are new to this, we rewatch Z and we put out our reactions. That's over on our Patreon that you can watch the reactions and enjoy Dragon Ball Z with us. But we also rate the episodes. We go into it, we do manga differences, we do trivia, all of that. And we just recap the episodes for you guys to listen to and hopefully enjoy. And the thing is, I just looked through our ratings. There's a Twitter account that's been doing it, and then I've also been keeping them on an Excel spreadsheet. Dotto has given out a one and only 10 in the history of this. We've now rated 20 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. This will be 21 and 22 today. And Dotto has actually given out a 10. And I forgot he did this. And so when I'm looking through the list.
That is crazy.
And I'm like, wait, Dotto, you gave a 10. Now, I don't know if we're going to hear a 10 again today. I don't know. I actually do not know. I can't gauge where Dotto is at right now.
I keep my scores mysterious.
You do be keeping them a little mysterious, but I definitely foresee some very high ratings today specifically because both of these episodes were a blast in my opinion.
It was fun. I definitely think that this was easily the most locked in either of us ever were. Because we're doing a 2-episode podcast today, so we watched 2 episodes of Z, talk about it in one. After episode 1, I think both of us were like, all right, wrap this shit up, dude. We got to get into this next one.
We got to get into the next episode. Yeah, we usually do watch the outros, but we did not watch the outro.
We did not watch that outro on that one. And usually, by the way, we only do 1 podcast of recording. This is on a second recording. Like, we're doing 2 podcasts separately. We're literally the most tired we've ever been recording the show. And I still was like, all right, run the next one. Get this next episode, dude, and I got to see what happens.
So tapped in right now. I mean, we are in what is probably going to be, I said this in our little tier list that people have had some like thoughts on here and there.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was I said it about, but I'm going to go ahead and say a bold statement. This is about to be the best like 10 to 15 episode run of Z that there is in the series. Period.
I think you can hear it in our reaction to these 2 episodes, which if you want to get the reactions behind the scenes, whole ton of extra stuff.
Lots of
check
bonus
out our
footage.
Patreon. Lots of bonus footage. We got all that and more over on the Patreon. But I think we were looking through the episode list. I got hyped because let's just say the episode list from DVD 1 and DVD 2 are not built the same. or it might.
Oh, dude, yeah, wait. That was such an exciting.
Bro.
Hang on. Cue our reactions just to seeing the episode list that is on the current episode DVD that we're watching. And
Yo, Nano, look at this episode list. We made it. We did it. It was unreal. Let's just say filler side, bro. Princess Snake was the most hype thing we had. Now we're seeing things like Cybermen attack, the Nappa's attack. It's like, okay,
Goku's arrival.
Now we're here. But it all starts. Well, technically, this was leading into it, right? Episode number 1 of the 2 we watched. Technically, episode 21, Counting Down. Very serious title, Nano. Let's get right into it, dude. This was sick.
This was sick, and there's like actually a lot, man. Yeah, there's a ton that happens in this, and not to jump too, it's not too far ahead. And I don't know why. I don't know how you feel about this, but I've always thought that Goku talking to them through King Kai is so cool. I don't know why. I've just always thought this is such like a cool thing. And I think more so through this, like when he's talking to him later on in the series using King Kai. Or King Kai just talking to Goku and stuff, but like I just think this is so cool, man. I don't know. I'm glad you brought that up, because this is the first episode we see this happen on, and this is just another like reminder that, like, you know, as 2 giant fans of Dragon Ball, we kind of have careers based around adjacent to Dragon Ball. It's very easy to forget why you like something and you just like it for the sake of liking it. Like I like Dragon Ball because I'm me and I like Dragon Ball. Yeah, but it's amazing how much cool shit they put into this series. Like we're not even at Kaioken yet. Kaioken is like another level of like, oh, so you're like risking your life to multiply your power. That's sick. But you're right. Even just talking through King Kai is like, that's cool. Going into the afterlife and having a halo over your head, that's cool. Snake Way, that's a cool concept. There are so many like interesting, very cool concepts in Dragon Ball Z alone that I'm like, just watching the show, I'm like, okay, Dragon Ball Z was always going to be popular. There's no universe in which this show was not going to be popular. I can't. Well, you know, I do be glazing a lot today, as we said. We use that a lot in the previous pod. This is the glaze special. This is the glaze special. But damn, bro, yeah, I'm gonna have to glaze up Dragon Ball Z for a minute. It's pretty fire, and this episode had no lack of fire moments because we skipped. Well, first off, let's talk about something else. So starts off obviously with Goku still at King Kai's, still training, and he's learned 2 techniques from King Kai, but we only see one of them. And we were talking through this in the reactions and in the previous episode of the pod. Yeah, we were confused about this. We weren't sure. Were we going to get a small taste of Kaioken previous to him using it against when he gets on Earth against the Saiyans? Or were they going to save that as a nice reveal later? And we now have our answer, which is that they aren't showing us Kaioken until it's revealed in an actual battle, which I think is actually better. I know, dude. That is, again, talking about cool concepts in Z. How do you have the level of restraint as an author? Bro was actually he was a savant, bro. Like, bro, how do you tease something as cool as Kaioken and you're just like, nah, let that one marinate a little bit. Yeah, they ain't ready for this one yet. That, so smart. And again, yeah, like, it doesn't even feel bad as an audience because it's just the smallest hint. It's literally like King Kai saying like, oh, I'll teach you how to use the Kaioken next. And then it cuts away and you really don't focus in on it. And then as Goku's learning the Spirit Bomb, which is what we see him do on his last day on King Kai's place. He's like, clearly he's had some time to train with it, but he's like in the process of mastering it now. And first of all, we talked about this immediately. The animators clearly knew it was time to lock in. Yes, we're not the only ones locked in, bro. The animation of King Kai picking up a brick and like flinging it around the planet at hypersonic speeds and having Goku hone in on it. Yeah, and Goku gathering. Like there was such a cool shot of him gathering energy. God. Like, yeah, dude, they were locked in for this episode. They were locked. They must have, their boss must have came in the room and just said, hey, it's time, guys. It's time. We are laying off anybody that isn't bringing their A game today. And dude, so he fires the Spirit Bomb, classic, hits it right out of the air. And then King Kai goes on this speech, which I think, again, is really cool. He's saying, hey, the Spirit Bomb's really powerful here on this planet, but it draws energy from living things, and Earth is like 70 times the size. I think we should ban you from using the Spirit Bomb. You can't use it.
So somehow he's teasing Kaioken, but also Spirit Bomb still gets to be the final move. Damn, this is just writing genius right here.
Dude,
This is the Glaze special at the beginning of this episode.
I also definitely do forget sometimes, that King Kai is like just such a crucial component to all of Dragon Ball Z, because the Spirit Bomb, I mean, like, is this like it's used for so many things, like to actually win. Like King Kai is
who you taking in a technique off, a King Kai or Krillin? I think the answer has to be King Kai, but they're definitely fighting for it.
Yeah, probably King Kai.
Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, just overall, because they're used by Goku, the versatility is crazy. But let's not slap. The Destructo Disc gets absolutely bitten off by just about everybody. Everybody steals Destructo Disc.
I mean, that is definitely true. Or Kamehameha that's from Roshi, right?
Oh yeah. The Kamehameha is like Roshi's one thing, and to be fair, he did that. He got that one swiped. That one's basically public domain at this point.
Oh, like God, dude. No way you're bringing that into this discussion.
That ain't even his technique no more. That's the people's technique.
We're about to get Doto on what's
Steamboat
Mickey's?
Willie?
Yeah. Steamboat Willie conversation.
Careful
here,
with that Mickey stuff, man. I actually don't even know how the law works there. I'm not sure if you could actually say Mickey. I just know you could probably say Steamboat Willie.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I don't know. I ain't a lawyer. I ain't even smart. I don't even know how it works.
Are the Disney you're acting like I can't even say the words Mickey anymore.
Disney. Let's just say if we were a bigger podcast, we would have got. That was good. That was actually good acting. The audio listeners are gonna think you actually got like swiped like right up on, bro.
I'm kidding, you guys. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I understand Nano too, because Nano 1 definitely got smoked and replaced by a like fast growing Cyberman clone that they just grew to replace you.
Which is also crazy that, spoilers, we're going to get to that in a moment.
I know. Let me focus back up here, man.
Sorry.
Let me focus back up.
You said technique off, and then the pod just did the pod things, bro. All right.
The pod's going to do the pod things, and that's called for and expected. What happens next? Oh yeah. So I'm
not the most crucial thing of this episode is what happens next.
King Kai absolutely misses and realizes that he forgot. I forgot this is how it happened, by the way. He forgot to factor in that Goku has to run back to his like respawn point. So Goku's gonna be late. He's gonna be late by about a day, basically. Which I'm not gonna lie. I know he's like Goku's trainer at this point, but Goku probably should have slid on King Kai for this.
I was about to say, beating some ass on that one, bro.
That was a huge.
They definitely downplay this, by the way.
They do. Like Goku should have bolted after this. Like immediately upon hearing this, he should have bolted.
Yeah, like on so many levels, because it's so like it's so not heartfelt, but it's just very like light. Like they're treating this as such a light situation, and like you just mentioned, Goku doesn't even leave until the end of the episode. He finds this info out at the beginning, and he doesn't leave King Kai's planet until the end. Like we have a whole nother bit to talk about before we can even say, and then Goku leaves. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and we both have our beef with that as well.
We do. We'll say that.
We'll get it too. But that's why Goku has to immediately contact Roshi, say, hey, Saiyans are coming, and we're out of time. So res me up. I'll be back. I'm gonna be a day late. I actually don't know if he gets that message across, because it doesn't seem like the Z Fighters care or know that he's a day late.
They were doing some Austin Powers comedy here, by the way.
Because he like cut over. Master Roshi was talking to himself on the toilet.
Yeah. So Goku is talking exclusively to Roshi, who is reading a magazine in the bathroom, and Bulma and Oolong and Puar and the turtle are outside the door. And it definitely it just made me think of that gimmick that all three Austin Powers movies do, kind of like with the shadow type thing. That's kind of like the style of comedy that they were going for here. But I feel like I was so locked in on everything else that I didn't get the time to like actually enjoy that joke. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, even the show doesn't give you much time to enjoy it, because again, right after this is like the call to Res Goku. So what comes next. They got to get the Dragon Balls together.
Which is our first actual look at Shinron.
And they did him justice here.
They did, man. I even during the reactions, again, you can check out over at patreon.com/keymoments. By the way, we haven't said this yet. We got to keep saying this. If you guys are an audio listener, I would love if you took a second. If you're driving, don't do it. But when you stop, think about doing it. Leave us a rating on Apple and on Spotify and wherever you listen to the podcast. And if you're watching right here on YouTube, a like and a subscribe would do wonders for us. And also, I know that recently over on the Patreon, maybe can be a key member. We actually put everything bundled. I don't know if you've seen this. It's bundled. You can actually like see all of our reactions are actually in their own playlist now on Patreon. All of our bonus content is on its own thing. All the pods are in its own thing. So we're getting like professional. We're getting organized. So if you guys haven't been over there in a while and you want to, go back, check it out, then there you go. We've got everything organized. Anywho, I'm glad.
Wait one sec. I'm glad you mentioned that they shouldn't do it while driving, because the only person that would have done that is definitely our diehard, most dedicated listener, and I would have hated to lose him like that. Like 5-star, I got you right now. Oh my god!
Yeah. No, let's chill. Let's chill.
Appreciate you pulling over to do that.
Oh my god! Now they're doing that. Oh man!
And definitely get to a parking spot. Take your time. But go ahead, Nato. Go ahead.
I bridged off Shinron to do a couple plugins just because, bro. We do putting a lot into the pod. Anyways, but I said this in the reaction is that I do miss when a lot of these things were given more emphasis, like Shinron being summoned. Like now you call upon him and it's like in a blink of an eye, Shinron is there. But in this, it's like the clouds rolling in and, Piccolo and Gohan are training and they're far away from Roshi's house. Dude. But they can see it, coming in. And like, I think Gohan even makes a comment about it being a storm and Piccolo's like, that's no storm or something. And like, it's just cool to be in this era of Z where there's all this emphasis on it. And before we move too far forward from the Kaioken thing, can you imagine I can't even remember now, but can you imagine the first time you're watching this? And you're right, they don't give you much to go off of that. And so all you see is the Spirit Bomb. So obviously you're way more focused on how cool the Spirit Bomb was. You have no idea what you're in store for with how damn cool Kaioken's about to be.
That's what I know. And that's coming from a guy that Kaioken was probably like, again, I would say right now as a fan, one of my favorite forms of Goku is Super Saiyan Blue, only because it combines with Kaioken so often. Because Kaioken was like my shit back then, dude. Like Kaioken, honestly, Super Saiyan meant more, so it was more hype by default. But Kaioken is just cooler to me. Like the red is cooler than the yellow, if I'm being honest. Especially when it gets like the sound. Nano, you were just talking about you love your sound effects, bro.
I do,
the
man.
Kaioken sound effects.
It is very cool.
Come on, dude. Dude.
Especially
when he really pushes it. Like, again, you cannot get better shonen or even just action. You can't get better badass than just, it's very simple. Goku going, I can't push it any higher than this. And then he says, all right, I will. Like, it's so cheap, bro. It's so cheap, but it works every time. Like, I'm on times3. I can't do times4. Fuck it. Times4. It's like, oh, dude.
It's been the whole point of this rewatch is because we haven't seen, Z in a long time. I feel like I'm remembering Sean like really putting in work in the booth those days too. Am I wrong on thinking that?
I don't think you are. I know at least times4 goes crazy. There's some level of look, Nato, just to tell you how baked it is, I know there's specifically a limit by King Kai, and he's saying it during the fight. He's like, do not go to times whatever. And then the whole fight, it's like Goku's losing, and then he says it. I don't know what number it is, but I know I'm gonna be screaming when it happens. Kaioken is so sick. Kaioken is so cool. Where were we? Oh yeah, Shenron. Also, another thing to note.
Sorry, we were at Shenron.
Another thing to note is while we're doing Shenron, the reason this episode feels like we're really coming up on it is because this is also the first shot of Gohan in his fighting gi. Like
yeah. Which I didn't actually notice at first. I was really gonna Piccolo, and you're like, "Did you see it?" or something like that. And I was like, what?
I can't even blame you, Nato, because probably a subtle fact is that they show Piccolo and Gohan training earlier in the episode before this Shenron cut. But Gohan's in his orange gi. Then they cut to the house, the Shenron scene, and then Gohan's all of a sudden in the purple gi. It's like the animator's like, "Oh shit, we gotta put him in his canon outfit. What the fuck?"
But then after they call down Shinron and they get Goku back, it's a pretty quick wrap up after that, right? Because I mean, Goku's got to bounce, and the thing is when Goku, or am I forgetting something?
Oh well, no, you're not forgetting anything. Maybe just a small detail though that goes along with your point is that it's cool to see. You're right, how much these smaller moments that we see now in Super. Because literally when Bulma summons, well, when they all summon the dragon, Bulma says specifically, I don't know if I'll ever get used to this. Literally in Superhero, she's summoning Shenron for like makeup and shit.
Yeah, to make her ass bigger.
She absolutely gets used to this. But yeah. I just thought that was funny. Go on.
Oh, another key detail. Sorry, I almost forgot about this
key moment?
Another key moment is Oolong steps up. Oolong first off is scared, is clutching onto Bulma, and then steps up and is like, eliminate the Saiyans for us. And then Shenron's like, well, due to the fact that I was created by Kami, I'm limited by the power that he has available. And so that's when Bulma is the one that actually says it, right? I think Bulma's the one that, or is it Bulma or Roshi?
Somebody yells at him for saying it, but yeah, I don't remember which one.
Oh, well, no, I'm just saying that actually asks for Goku to be revived.
I think it's Bulma. I don't know. It might have also been Oolong. It might have just been Oolong correcting himself. I actually don't know.
I swear to God, we just watched this episode. It was it was anyway, one of them. They then asked to have Goku brought back because yeah, obviously it would be OP though. So like you're telling me based on this canon, and I can't remember everything that happens with the Super Dragon Balls, but like if Beerus would have made Shenron, you're telling me that the Shenron would only be limited by the power of Beerus, who at this current time we have no like finite amount on Beerus. Like as far as we're aware, like his power is ever growing and infinite, and so like they could just call upon him and he could just kill anyone. Like it's just like
I don't like when they state like it's because Kami is this powerful that I can do it. I've never liked that because I feel like there's a lot of shit that Kami really can't do, to be honest.
Oh, I mean, bro, after we watched, what is it called? Dragon Ball Z, the movie? Kami ain't shit, bro.
He fucking throws every fight he gets in, bro.
Yeah, he threw so hard in Dead Zone. God, that was another thing. I'm sorry, that's not here nor there. I'm sorry. I'm
even as a Dragon Ball fan, like Kami threw in the tournament too. Almost got a perfectly normal civilian wrapped up in that. So
that is also
Kami's kind of a choke artist. In my opinion, but whatever. But yeah, they do use that excuse. I just want to say, what if Oolong, like, I guess they're familiar with Shenron, so it wasn't that risky, but I'll be fucking pissed if he's like, can you slow down the Saiyans? Nah. And then he just like separates and like you get one attempt at a wish.
Oh,
Oolong
dude, wouldn't that be crazy?
He would have just blown it. Absolute choke artist, threw the game away. But yeah, they just res Goku up and we see his Halo disappear, which again is so cool. Even as a kid, I was like, the Halo stuff is sick.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. I like the Halo stuff too, and that is what brings us to what we already talked about a little bit earlier. But Goku has to bounce.
Oh yeah, this is the one minor mistake of the episode.
Yeah, because I'll be damned if again he's already gonna be a day late. These Saiyans that are like unfathomable levels of power are approaching or basically at Earth with his son, his friends, his wife, everything, and he just hops out. And like I'm expecting like Flash, like insane level of speed to be animated.
We were expecting like,
and he just runs.
Boom.
He's just like he's on a casual. Like he's not even running as fast as he did to get Bubbles, dude. I'm like,
and I get it on their part, Nano, because they do eventually correct it. But
yeah,
I guess they wanted to give Goku a chance because he does jump out and he like jumps around a little bit and goes, "Wow, I'm as light as a feather. The gravity is like so easy now." But I think and then like eventually he picks it up to a nice high speed Flash that we both were like, okay, here we go. But again, I think we both would have rather just seen like, okay, you should go. And then like they should have used that as an opportunity to just like blow the doors open on like, all right, this is not the same Goku anymore. He's different.
Yeah. I wanted afterburner type shit, dude. I wanted to see like the sound barrier break as he like goes.
And what's fucked up, Nano, and that I want to talk about it now because we're getting to the end of this episode and we don't really talk about recaps, but the recap for the episode that follows this clearly knows that scene would have looked badass like that because they cut it and edited it in a way where it looks like Goku jumps off King Kai's planet and blast away. Like it cuts all the dancing around. And me and Nano were both like, that's what we wanted. That's what we were waiting for. Dude. Like the fish and SpongeBob, bro. Really, that's what we were waiting all this time for.
I'm looking at the wiki right now, and the final paragraph of what happens, and I think this is funny because I pointed this out as we were watching it. Anything to do with time now, just forever I'm going to point it out. But it literally says, the next day at 11:43 a.m., the Saiyan space pods land in the heart of East City, much to the dismay of the Dragon team who sense their presence. So even the wiki, I'm waiting on you to tell me the differences, because I swear to God, if that clock is wrong, I'm going to lose my mind. Full reference, if you aren't watching these as we are doing them, which I would highly suggest you watch them. And you can also check out the Patreon and watch them with us. But it points to a clock. It actually like zooms in purposely as the Saiyans arrive on a clock, an actual like analog, like full on. And so anyway,
we've been burned by these English dub times too much, man. Like as soon as Nano saw that clock, he was like, "I know they got that wrong, man. Like I know it's over."
Yeah, they for whatever reason they re-edited the animation on the clock to make it wrong because they didn't like that it said 11:43 and they made it something else.
Yeah, it should have been a nice even 12 in America.
What, Doto?
So might as well bust it up. What happened?
You know what that means?
Are we on to the next episode?
The
Saiyans
are here. And,
finally, dude.
Doto was all over here like, is this a 1-episode pod? I'm like, Doto, that narrator's about to pop in.
Bro, because I was just locked in, bro. Like this could have been, if this was the start, this would have been all right, let me dial it back. I got a little too excited. But if Dragon Ball Z came out in the modern day, this would have been the beginning of the movie release. This would have been the Saiyans, like the darkest Dragon Ball Z, the darkest day in theaters. This would have been the start to the movie. It was so good. The narration, the serious look on Goku's face as he flies away, just all the Z fighters all over the world. They even did like a cool like. You remember the headshot where they showed all the fighters?
Dude, yeah, dude, almost like a manga panel.
It was like a manga, yeah.
Oh,
it was so sick. The Saiyans arrive on Earth and just like, again, it's like I'm like, here I go gassing it up, but it feels like the rumbling from Attack on Titan. Like the Saiyans land and all the Earthlings are like, what the hell was that? What's going on?
I want to say two things before we move ahead to manga differences really fast and not to diverge too much. But first off, I've been really craving wanting to rewatch the end of Attack on Titan again, just because I haven't actually done that, and I said I was going to, and it's been itching. And now I guess because the anime's out. First off, I want to address some three things, Doto. The JJK fandom sucks.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Because I'll be damned, dog. I'm not even to season 2 yet, and they can't help if something drops an hour later. They are tweeting it out. They're like, they don't care.
Y'all ain't, I mean, the spoiler gloves for Jujutsu Kaisen are manga only, bro. And even with the manga, if you got the wrong TikTok algorithm, which I'll be honest, like at this point I'm caught up, so I fuck with it. Like I fully embrace the algorithm. If I find out when chapters leak through my TikTok For You page, the leaks will be up there immediately.
That's the leak. It's the leaks. It's not even like the official release. Like the leaks are out and immediately it's everywhere, bro. Did I tell you about how I got spoiled on one of the deaths in JJK through Fortnite?
What? No.
dude, I was watching a Fortnite clip and it looked like it was gonna be something sick. And of course, there's JJK characters in Fortnite.
Oh, I know.
and they get sniped. And then as the bullet is about to hit in Fortnite, it transitions to the anime. And I was like, what? I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, bro. That's the new age way of spoiling, bro. Funny Fortnite clips. And honestly, I probably saw that exact same thing on my For You page and chuckled about it and laughed. Like to me, it was funny.
But anyway, I'm sorry for
that was a random shot you just fired there.
I was gonna say sorry. That's not all JJK fans, but it is crazy how I just feel like the gloves are off on spoilers. Somebody. But the reason I brought that up is because now that I guess the anime is done and Attack on Titan is done, and now it's even more fair game than it ever has been. I have seen so many finale clips and different clips for AOT like just circulating in a bunch of panels, and it's just making me really want to rewatch. Now to bring it back to the actual pod. And I am a massive Vegeta stan, so obviously these episodes are doing a lot for me personally, but as much as I love Vegeta, I still can't deny how just damn cool the Goku is. And when it gave us that shot that you're talking about where Goku like really zones up, that shit shit gets me I'm like, okay, like all the dopamine is hitting and everything.
Goku guy, bro.
Like, God, dude, it is dude. I'm not kidding. Like when we get to these episodes where Goku, I'm excited to watch the Z Fighters fight and everything like that. Like there's so many cool ass moments because when you're on the main menu of the DVD at the bottom, if you guys haven't put these in a while, at the bottom it shows you just some small little frames from the episodes you're about to watch, and we were just looking down there, and it was just like hype after hype after hype after hype. But as hype as all those things are, Goku showing up and Goku doing Goku ass things is going to be the coolest damn thing ever, bro. I am so stoked to see, because when Goku gets that mean looking face, like, oh my god, the shit that does for me is like, yes, man.
Again,
yes,
we're in Saiyan Saga 2, where they really were like, I don't know how to describe it, but I do really like it, the way they draw like Saiyan's chins in this.
Yes,
I don't know. Yeah, like they have like a Saiyan Saga look to them, bro, and it just goes a little crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. But I cannot wait. Anyway, you ready for these differences from the manga?
Let's hear it, man.
All right. Well, you know we got a good episode because there's only one difference from the manga, Nano. I'll give you a chance to guess.
It's the time.
Incorrect, Nano, but I know you would have guessed it. The one difference from the manga, and again, this is the wiki being on his fucking ass, which I knew it was going to happen, Nano. I told you. The difference is... As Gregory is an anime exclusive character, all of his appearances and interactions did not happen in the manga. Bro, they are going to be on Gregory's ass the entire way through this series. I already know it. They're going to have a little line about Gregory every time. I knew it. I knew it, dude. They're going to be cooking my favorite little cricket guy the entire way through.
Every single time we go back, and it's like, there was one scene with Gregory, and we just want to remind you guys that
Gregory is filler. He's not real. We get it.
Anime only.
Let the Gregory fans fucking breathe, man. Damn, come on.
But that was it. So everything else about this is fully canon.
Yeah, this was
sick.
There you go, bro.
What's some trivia for me?
All right, I'll give you some trivia. I like this one. The calendar by the toilet at Kame House has 1989 as the year, which is the same year that Dragon Ball Z and the first episode first aired in Japan.
Nice.
There you go. The wish from Shenron later brought forth or spawned Raid Shenron. I don't even know what that's talking about. What the fuck? That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, here we go. That's talking about GT, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. I thought we were doing a bit where we just pretended not to know what GT was.
Oh, okay, but there's a difference between you reading it and me hearing it and having to comprehend what you said. I'm sorry, my bad. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I get you. Ooh, this is the first episode to use music from Dead Zone.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Another one that's pretty obvious. But I commented on it as a joke. In this episode, Vegeta and Nappa's color schemes are corrected to their normal ones.
Yeah, nice.
And then footage from this episode was recycled for Saban's edited Tree of Might dub. Okay, well, I didn't know that, but that's cool. Yeah, I guess this was reused in Saban's, I don't even know what this is.
Doto, listen, I'm not trying to get too ahead of ourselves here, but listen, if you guys have been locked in this whole time, you guys have been founding members of the Key Moments podcast that's only been going for 3 months, but still we're here. We are about to have one of the best at least stints of the Z. Not saying the Z rewatch will be a weekly thing here on out, because we've got Battle Hour, which may have some goods, we want to talk about, and there might be stuff we just don't know that's coming up. But as far as the Z rewatch episodes go, we are in now for the rest of Saiyan Saga, which is going to be fire. And then when we're done, because canonically it makes sense, we are watching two movies. One of those includes the Tree of Might.
We have a lot of movies.
So Donna, we are in for such a good run. We are gonna. I'm not kidding when I'm gonna be texting like, bro, it's time to watch Z, bro. Get on, bro. We're watching Z.
Another thing is that we didn't comment on this, or we kind of did, but again, just to reiterate, since it's something that you can't see because we can't show the episode, and you might be listening to the audio version, this was just a really good looking episode. If you scroll down to this gallery, the shots of Goku this episode went crazy.
Dude, yeah, the Spirit Bomb stuff was so cool, dude. Like
the level of art on this episode was just so different, and I think that led to, again, I felt like it was a movie. Like this felt movie quality compared to some of the episodes we watched.
I mean, because they knew, because like this really is like the beginning of what a lot of people really care about, right?
This episode as a kid I would have been demanding some Goku action figures, man. I would have been merchandise out the ass, bro.
Wait. I'm looking through these. I guess I didn't even notice that, or maybe I was just yapping along because we're reacting. But You're telling me it zooms in on a standard like clock, and then it also shows off a guy's wristwatch saying 11:43. Why is it so like important to know that these guys landed at 11:43?
I don't know. Maybe they just. I mean, I honestly don't know why they wanted to be such time, but hey, it worked. It was a cool director decision.
All right, I got two things I want to say before we dive in, and this is one that we can pop in for video watchers. But Dada, you saying that made me think of this card art. There was an Int LR Goku that came out this year, last year now. That is specifically from the Turles movie. And you were talking about Saiyan Saga chins. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah. He's got the Saiyan Saga chin.
So it's the SSR art for an intelligence Spirit Bomb Goku from the Tree of Might movie that I'm showing Dada right now, and you can see it here on YouTube. And then lastly, and I know you made the GT joke, but it is actually kind of cool. I still think GT has some redeeming factors. The dragons actually being one of my favorite portions of GT. But I think it's kind of cool that like we are already the foreshadowing. Love it or hate it, but the foreshadowing for GT is beginning right here at episode 21 of Z. It's kind of cool. Not on purpose, I like that. Obviously, but it's still it's cool.
I like it. I like and yeah, the dragons were the best part of GT. So yeah, that was an episode and a half. Nano, I think you go first.
It would be me this time. All right, so this was just such good. Like you said, if this is where you started, or if you did it more modern, this is where it would start. I have been glazing a lot today though, Dotto. So I think I'm gonna actually, I'm hoping that you glaze it up a little bit more. So that gives you an idea of what I'm about to give this. I swear to God, there we got the same one.
Oh no,
we're about to have the same one. All right. Anyways, Dotto, are you ready? Can I say my number?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give counting down an 8.
Nano, I didn't glaze extra heavy. Because I also gave this one an 8.
Okay, all right. I was like, damn, am I about to have this as an 8 and you're gonna have it as a 7? But okay, you're giving it an 8 too. Okay.
No, it's definitely. I think it's definitely a good 8, right? Like again, we're getting into the good stuff, so my standards are getting higher. Unironically, like my standards are getting high. This shit was an 8. I was locked in. The perfect introduction. Not a lot of like, I guess action happens here, but you do get a fair bit of it with the Spirit Bomb stuff like that. And then even with no action, this would have probably still been an 8. It's just the stakes are so high right now. It's crazy.
I'm loving these stakes, bro.
It literally ends with the Saiyans on the ground on Earth, and you just know some fucked up shit is gonna happen. Like it's just there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
This was such a good episode, man.
It was really good. I think it deserves a double 8. But yeah, I mean, you're on 2 8s now, man. You're on 2 8s.
Yeah, but I also gave out a 6. So let's calm down.
Ooh, that's true.
And you haven't done that in a while, and you're the only ever 10 in the history of the series. So let's not. Okay.
Yeah, that was a crazy 10.
You're not escaping the glazing agenda that people have against you right now. Anyways, let's talk about the next episode, Dotto. That brings us to I think how we may have introed this and possibly titled it "The Darkest Day."
This is an episode title, and not just title. The images that come across with titles. This was a
banger. This actually,
it's a shot of E-City getting absolutely lit up.
This might be my favorite is probably still the pink one with Goku in the center. I still love that one. That one goes so crazy.
That one's really good. I like the one that shows Gohan's sword and Piccolo's cape. I like that one a lot too.
Oh, is that the one where you pointed out when we're watching the episode? You're like, there's the title card.
I was like, yo, that was sick. I like that.
But this one is up there. This one,
it's good, and it's like, and more importantly, it fits like the tone really well.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's kind of. I think so. Not gonna lie. I think I just want to say this off the bat. The title card and the emotions going into this episode, especially if you watch the reaction, you can kind of get where I'm going with this. The emotions were high, and I did, even though I left the episode. The episode didn't exactly deliver everything I was hoping for.
Yeah, same.
And for reasons I'm sure we're going to get into. But the start was definitely not that. I mean, the start was great.
Oh, dude, yeah. The start, they knew what they needed to do. But then I think they did it, and then they were like, well, damn.
All right, well.
Guys, we gotta fill out like 24 minutes here. And you know, we've animated the beginning, we've animated the last little bit. What the fuck are we gonna do with this middle piece? And someone said, "Yo, I got
an idea. I got this. Let me in the booth. I got this."
And they just happen to be a massive Yajirobe fan, so you know.
All right. Now we're getting spoiled. So let's get into the beginning. Is pretty much perfect. They land the sand. They show us a little bit.
Bro said perfect.
I mean, it's pretty. It's good.
But you are spitting because we skipped ahead. But this is also where they did the edit on him jumping off King Kai to go on a Snake Way, where they did it the way we wanted to.
Yes.
So the beginning of this whole episode was strong. Sorry, you take it away.
The emotions were strong, and it's no playing around. They get out of their sand pods. We see him again, and Nappa asks for permission to have some fun, and Vegeta's like, "Yeah, go ahead. You know, do what you got to do." And then in like the greatest feat we've seen in the series so far, Nappa does. I've always thought this attack was so cool, Nano, especially like in games and stuff. I don't know how you feel about it.
Oh, no, I like it.
But I can't remember what it's called right now for some reason. But I used to remember what this
Gigantic.
Like, Giant Storm. Yeah, Giant Storm or something.
Giant Storm.
It sometimes gets different names because he doesn't really give it a technique name. But he flicks his two fingers up, wipes the entire city off the map. There's like a very little bit amount of this city still left up. And the rest is completely gone. And he actually gets chewed out by Vegeta for maybe like took it too far. He could have destroyed a Dragon Ball. But they move past that pretty quick. And then boom, they turn the scouters on Nano and it's on site. They're like, we got to find the strongest power levels. They're scoping it out. And eventually they land on 2, which we later find out is Piccolo and Gohan.
Yeah, so the only thing that I will say that I would have liked a little differently here, and this would have been probably crueler, maybe why they didn't do it. This is we're literally talking about like just straight up your everyday average human like you or I.
You wanted to slice them up?
Yeah, I thought there'd be a little bit of and maybe not necessarily so much like brutal, you know, beat downs or something like that, but definitely like some like, you know, like keep us here, keep us there to destroy some buildings. Like I didn't know that he was just going to go straight to his Giant Storm ability and just literally wipe the entire city off the face of the earth in one blast. Like I definitely just since he asked for permission, you know, so I was like, and in my head, and maybe this is from Kakarot, because I think on Kakarot, I think it, even if it doesn't, I definitely remember in because Kakarot would be my most recent memory of this. It definitely makes you feel like they did some tomfoolery around the city as opposed to hopping out of their pods. Yeah, hopping out of their pod and then immediately just destroying the city. Like that is not. Yeah, but it's still cool.
If Dragon Ball Z was a more modern, like mature series, they definitely would have shown Nappa like snapping people like twigs, like absolute, like some Jujutsu Kaisen, like, you know, like basically just running around destroying people's lives up close and personal. And then maybe they would have ended on the Giant Storm. But the sheer destruction and like the aerial shots we get are still so
no,
sick,
yeah,
right?
no, it's sick. I don't want to, yeah, let me just go ahead and state that by no means is the part of this episode that takes away any points from me, for sure. No, that's still absolutely sick.
Definitely that's not losing in any points, which is a good thing because it doesn't have many to lose. Because after they take off after the 2 strongest power levels, we get shots of all the Z fighters reacting to these amazing like this huge display of power. And then, we see some shots. They take off to go after Piccolo and Gohan. And a Yap Storm is brewing, you know.
A Yap Storm, indeed.
A Yap
That's
session is in the making, bro. There is I was still on the edge of my seat, too, because I was getting frustrated at this shit, man.
I was just about to say, so if you guys watch the reaction and I swear,
pissed, bro.
We were both so silent because I think we were both waiting on bated breath to get back because I don't think either of us anticipated this scene happening and then lasting as long as it did. Because what happens is, you know, they take off because they've now found, as Dotto mentioned, they've now found what they're looking for. Because their assumption is that the people at the highest power level are going to be the people that either A, have the Dragon Balls because they're the ones who they heard through the Scouter a year ago through Raditz Scouter, or B, if they don't have them, they definitely know how to get them. So that's why they're looking for the highest power level. So they're bounced. They're out, leaving destroyed East City. And of course, Yajirobe, for whatever reason, is on site with the police and investigators of what's happening. And there's a point where it felt like the scene should have ended, where he's like talking, or he's like doing his shenanigans. Brother. And for whatever reason, it didn't end. But then I thought it was going to end again.
God.
And it didn't end. It felt like it was going to end like 3 times.
7 times at least, bro. This was the biggest. This was just because of the tone we're in and like the level of, I'm literally on the edge of my seat like, oh shit. Bro, this fucking sucked. This like killed the pacing. Like, dude, I hate Yajirobe. Like, the joke of Yajirobe being like a joke character is whatever. But this, if I was a kid, I would have hated this character's guts forever, man. I could not stand. He's just yapping, spaceship, yapping, news reporter, oh my god.
Secret superhero squad, yapping, getting money,
oh my
yapping.
God, dude.
Still in the scene. What's happening? And then finally we're out.
Holy shit.
Jeez, dude. And then that brings us to, I'll let you tell them, because this is your goat. So this brings us to,
dude, this was sick. I know what you're getting. Okay, so they kind of won me back a little bit here because Piccolo's like, "Yo, Gohan, get on your guard. They're here." And they're getting ready, and then Piccolo freaks the fuck out. He's like, a third one. This is impossible. A third Saiyan's here. Jumps down. It's Krillin. That's how you fucking introduce a character right there, Nano. That is respect.
It was sick.
They thought he was a Saiyan, bro. They thought he was a third alien Saiyan. Yeah, that is clean. And he did that on his own. No King Kai, no magic power-ups, that was just raw push-ups, weightlifting. Bro, he's just him. But yeah, great introduction for Krillin.
He actually got a better intro, in my opinion, than the Saiyans did. The Saiyans to the Z Fighters, sorry. Because Z Fighters just kind of like honestly, float down out of the sky. That's how we see them, is it like, you know, we're seeing the three of them together, Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo, and then it switches back over to the Saiyans just like floating out of the sky. Like, Krillin got a way cooler intro, and at least in this portion, than the Saiyans did.
Yeah, no, it was they did him right, and then the Saiyans show up and float down, and we're back. We're finally back. I'm not gonna lie, the Krillin intro brought it back up a little bit, but I was still pissed at how much talking Yajirobe did. Just because I knew the episode was going to end way earlier than I wanted it to. Not
to add too much filler right now to this, but I do want to take it back just a second since we're talking about introductions. But can we talk about the fact that the space pods do crash, but we're also in a world where Capsule Corp exists and you got floating cars. So the design of these space pods isn't like that outlandish to what shouldn't be that outlandish to this civilization of people. And Nappa and Vegeta just, unless we're not supposed to perceive them in that way, they literally look like humanoids. Like Saiyans literally look like humans, right?
That actually.
So all the civilians that are going over to the space pods and are like, alien, and so I asked Dotto their reaction. I'm like, are you disappointed? Like, if an alien lands in your backyard right now, Dotto, and they look like you, are you going to be kind of disappointed that it's not like what we imagine an alien would look like? You know, like,
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be disappointed, but you are correct. And maybe this makes me technically racist because I wouldn't think alien. I would think, dude, where the fuck did you get that spaceship? And I would just ask, like, I would just be like, whoa, bro, where did you get that spaceship? Man, that is crazy.
It wouldn't even come to mind. Like, if something crashed right now in my front yard and it even remotely look like a Saiyan space pod, my brain wouldn't immediately go to alien if they looked exactly like me, you know? Like,
yeah, I'd probably assume like military test on a
yes,
ride.
100%. So them just starting to scream like alien, I was like, but they look like you. And I could get it if this is,
oh, here we go. Now you're okay, bro. You're about to take the podcast down. Go ahead.
I don't know. Do you know about? I don't know if you know what I'm about to say. No, I was gonna say I could get it if they looked like the Saiyans that were like portrayed in the previous episode. Oh. Where did you think I was going with that?
I thought you were gonna say if you got out and it was like more like the animal people that walk around in the Dragon Ball universe. I was like, whoa,
dude, y'all. As we're watching, the sheriff is a dog, and Dotto can't help but point out again that you know. Wasn't sure if he was going to talk about it.
That was actually you, Nano. You were like, Dotto, you got anything to say?
No, you know what it was?
I chimed in when all of the dinosaurs were running away.
It was when all the different animals were running away from the blast in East City, and he's like, you said something about one of those.
I wonder how many of them speak English.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say on it. You were the one that saw the chief of police, which is what I see him as, and you were like, got anything to say? Well, that's just the chief of police right there.
Ah, okay. My bad. Anyway, I just want to point out that they just immediately jumped to them being aliens, even though they looked like humans. So
yeah. So
anyway.
Nappa actually blew him up for being racist.
Yeah, that's what it was for sure.
Nappa couldn't stand that he didn't even get a chance to be an Earthling. So,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so a light bit of blowing up an entire city for Nappa. Just Tuesday for him. I do like that he mentioned that his neck hurt though. The Saiyan pods, even as a kid, I was like, that shit had to be uncomfortable, especially for Nappa.
Mostly for Nappa. I think
sucked.
Vegeta was probably fine, but yeah.
Vegeta could fucking kick out his legs. He was like in
Hey,
first
let's
class.
calm down.
He was in the exit row of the airplane, bro. Like he had more than enough leg room.
Bro, calm down.
Bro could run some laps in there. But where? Oh yeah, the Saints hovering above. Damn, we got podcaster right there. I didn't even know where the fuck we were.
Yeah, we're back. We're back to the meeting of everybody here. So that's.
I forgot they lore dump on Piccolo, bro. This is the episode where Piccolo, we find out that Namekians are a thing.
Yeah, we don't have a name for this until right here, right now.
And honestly, this is the craziest shit talk ever because they definitely land and Piccolo goes, "I'm giving you one last chance to leave this planet alive." And then Vegeta just says, "Hey, ain't you a Namek? Ain't you from outer space? Ain't you an alien from another region?" And then Piccolo just has to sit there and go, "Damn, he's right. I can feel it in my soul." Like that's crazy. That was a crazy clapback from Vegeta.
Of which Kami then also realizes that he's an Namekian too.
Yeah, Kami's such a crazy reverse like throwback that even Kami was like recoiling. He was like, I like again, it went into the lore. He was like, I can feel that I'm also from Namek, and you know that's why I created the Dragon Balls. It was an image in my head of home, and I brought it here, which is kind of crazy that this episode has such a big lore moment. But again, genius writing. You know, we're gonna Namek's our next arc.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are the seeds that are being planted, bro. Like this is.
Speaking of, man, how do you do that?
You know, it is what it is, man.
Speaking of seeds, another big Dragon Ball Z moment comes up. Another cool thing of the series, the Cybermen, for whatever reason. Honestly, I think they should have come up with a better reason for why they go immediately to the Cybermen, but they're mostly doing it as like a way to torture them and like get them to cough up info on the Dragon Balls, I guess.
Yeah.
So they plant some Cybermen, put some liquid juice on there, and then they're good to go, man. It's on site. They start doing like a little dance around them, punching rocks and shit.
This was very well animated too, by the way.
Yeah, these episodes looked great when there was fighting going on and not talking for 17 minutes, but yeah, it was sick. Again, so a lot of cool stuff going on in this episode.
Yeah,
also a lot of
we cannot stress enough, if you guys did not watch the episode with us, on just how long Yajirobe talks, or if you don't remember this episode, because the thing is that we also didn't note is that they did the intermission, the cutaway, and I never in a million years thought we would come back to the Yajirobe sequence, and somehow post intermission we are still with Yajirobe. So Dato is exaggerating with 17, but I would say saying 8 or 9 minutes of the episode being dedicated to Yajirobe is probably not too wrong. Like,
yeah, that sucked. And we did forget to mention part of that is he points the news people in the direction of the Saiyans, which is a little irresponsible.
Just a little bit.
As the newscasters pull up, Nappa blows one of their ships up. The rest of them, I think, flee. So instantly, Yajirobe should be benched from the Z fighters forever. Whatever.
They also they know that Piccolo is Piccolo because they recognize the voice hearing through Raditz Scouter.
Yep. And Vegeta also gets to show off his tactical prowess by telling Nappa to ignore the scouting readings because clearly the Earthlings can suppress power and enhance them. So Vegeta gets to like show off that he's clearly the superior fighter.
Bro's glazing Vegeta. I like it. Let's go.
Hey, it's in there for a reason. They want him to be the boss.
You're Vegeta's Gregory, aren't you?
I'm a little bit, yeah. I'm a hater. No, wait, not like, damn, Gregory?
Yeah,
I'd be out here doing spins on it?
Yeah, so you took a second to get that one, huh?
I did. I was like, wait, what is you talking about?
Oh, my God. Anyway, that's basically it for this episode because I will say I did not expect the Cybermen to grow in this episode. I thought we had this discussion as we were reacting. I wasn't sure if we would actually see the Cybermen in this episode or if it would be like planted and then they're a heavy focus in the next episode, which they will be a heavy focus in the next episode, but I just didn't know we'd get to see full plant and like them out and about and doing things, which they got a pretty decent amount of screen time here. So pretty much ends with the Cybermen setting up the next fight for the Z Fighters, and they determine they're going to go 2v2v2 basically.
We probably could have got, that was actually kind of sick. Krillin got 2 on the left, Piccolo 2 in the middle, and Gohan 2 on the right, which, damn, that hyped me up. We could have seen him fight if Yajirobe didn't fucking run his mouth for 8 minutes. Whatever, man. And get people killed, by the way, for fucking food. God, I hate that character. Let's go to the differences from the manga. Yajirobe at the aftermath of E-City's destruction is exclusive to the anime. Yeah. fucking shocker there, man. Wow. Fucking color me and Nano shocked. I can't believe that wasn't in the manga. Nano, are you pre-ordering the manga volume where Yajirobe runs his mouth for 7 pages?
Yeah, dude. I've had that shit on pre-order for 30 years, man.
I can't wait for that shit to come out. The news crew filming the confrontation
is also filler?
Wasteland. Yeah, because why would a Z fighter get people killed by sending them to their own death?
Well, is Yajirobe really a Z fighter though?
Exactly, because he fucking is garbage and he's not even on the on the team.
Christ.
Holy shit, dude. He pissed me off this episode, man. Look at the gallery now. This is literally just for us, but if you scroll down, you can see where the episode becomes garbage because it's just Yajirobe screenshots for 8 minutes.
Wait, this calls it volcano explosion.
Volcano explosion?
That's what it calls it, yeah.
I'm not really liking that.
I've never really heard that before.
I haven't either.
I've only ever heard giant storm.
Yeah, giant storm or something giant.
Break storm. The wiki says break storm as well. But yeah, giant storm or break storm are the things I'm most familiar with.
Man, this episode was crazy.
Is there any fun trivia or no?
Actually, let me see. Trivia. In the Japanese version, this was the first episode to feature the second Cha La Head Chala opening. Wow.
Wow.
Which Funimation used for the first 117 episodes of the series.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. I was just curious. Sorry to bring up Dokkan on here, but because I've done that already once, but Dokkan also calls it Giant Storm, and they are fairly accurate. I've always felt like with a lot of their naming schemes, because the other games always just kind of do seem to be all over the place sometimes, you know. But yeah, but they actually do call this Nappa and his super attack Giant Storm. Anyway.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the podcast. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night. No, I'm kidding. We have to rate the episode.
We have to rate the episode. Doto was nervous about this rating, bro.
I don't like that I have to go first on this one because I don't know how I feel on this one.
I know where I'm at. I can go ahead and hold mine up.
I don't know if I want to. I have a number in my mind, but it seems extra harsh. But damn. No, I mean, but damn, that Yajirobe shit sucked, man. I really did not enjoy. Okay. I'm going to go with.
I'm doing this.
I'm going to give it. I'm
doing this.
I guess I have to give it a. I'm going to say 6. I'm going to go on the harsh one. Because. Wow. I'm going extra harsh because I would say 7 is my good and it's just like a solid ride through. But this one, I genuinely, if I ever watch this episode again, I am skipping all of that extra filler. Like, I would rather watch Princess Snake than have to be mandated to sit through that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If I'm judging the whole episode, I'm going with the 6. What do you have, Nano?
I went with a 7. I originally held up 8, and as you kept talking, you did remind me. It just like. Because the thing is it's also just forgettable, because in my head, when I'm thinking about this episode, I'm just thinking about everything pre and post Yajirobe, but my God, does he not take up such a huge chunk of it? Not to mention, like, it would have been fine if he just like talked and like you said, there were seven instances where that shit could have just ended, and it would have just ended in the first instance that you felt like it should, and it just moved on with the episode. Like, I would have rather watched the Cybermen like vanish around the Z Warriors and not actually fight them for an additional like 3 minutes.
Like, I would have watched that for however long.
Not listening to him go on and on about that shit. So 7 for me. 7 for me.
Yeah, I was a little extra harsh because it did, like, the more I looked at the images and thought about it, like, it was so long, guys. Like, in the reaction, I'm not even joking. I literally was like, please get this shit off the screen.
It is crazy though, because there are definitely 10 moments in this episode, or at least 9. Like, sorry, like if.
Oh, you mean like? Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
It's just dragged down so harshly by the pacing of the Yajirobe section. It's crazy.
I agree with you. It should have been, like you said, an 8. Like, even if, I don't know, if they just took out the Yajirobe scene, or if it was half as long, it would have been probably an 8. But I don't know. I would, if this episode played again, I'd refuse to watch it if I had to see the Yajirobe shit again. I would not do it.
I'm with you. I do have one question before we wrap up that I think is important to ask you, and I'm just curious what you're going to say. Do you think this will be your lowest rating for an episode? Do you think you'll go below a 6 at any point beyond now, up until the time Vegeta leaves the planet?
I'm going to be honest. Maybe this is hopeful. Hell no. This should be like the final 6 for a long time. Like a long time. There's no way. If there's a 6 or below, then something very bad has happened. And even now, a 6 is harsh. I'm admitting that. But we are in for a good ride right now.
Yeah, I feel like this is the last. Like, I just don't, and maybe I'm so wrong, but I do not anticipate there being even an opportunity for another moment where Yajirobe can gap like that, or another character that is. You're probably right. You're infecting my mind. You're making me. I've been pretty indifferent about Yajirobe, but you're making me kind of hate him. Maybe he made me hate him with this episode. Actually,
I feel like in the manga he's fine. You know, like, but damn. If they don't use him as their Yapmobile in the anime, man, that's crazy. But yeah, if I can be a real fanboy here, Nano, I kind of am expecting 7s to be pretty rare. Like, I'm expecting an 8 train.
Okay.
I'm expecting 8s.
You think we'll give another 10
crazy.
out at some point?
Oh, come on, Nano. I think there's a 10 in here at least. You don't think so? You think you're going to give out a 10?
I'm going to bet that I'm going to give out at least 2 10s before.
Nano, my dumbass gave a 10 to fucking a dinosaur fight. Like, I'm definitely giving a 10 to the first time we see Kaioken and the Beam Clash. Yeah, that's getting a 10. I'll pre-order my 10 on that. Hey, pre-order a 10 for me, Nano. Go a few episodes ahead. Pre-order me a 10 on the Beam Clash episode.
I'll do my best to get that pre-ordered. And I'll do my best to thank all of you guys for watching and listening to today's podcast. It is the darkest day because you're finishing the podcast, and that's super unfortunate. But if you're watching this in the future, there's more for you to go listen to, so go check it out. But for now, check us out on patreon.com/keymoments. Check us out here on YouTube at Key Moments Podcast, actually, and Key Moments Podcast on all your favorite podcast services if you're ever in the need for just the audio only version. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us over here, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.